till this day, trapped in captivity. Stay vigilant and sober, cause I can't let Satan get to me. I wish we listened to the living God. He destroyed us through curses. See, we made life hard. Now I'm scarred from my past, but I love God dearly. Do whatever he told me, cause I figured he won't hear me. So up for him, I look silly. Get on that, I'm safe. It said how many had to die before I learned my place. Please bring me back to the wilderness, I'ma get it right. I pray these blessings overtake me in my next life. Then I'll be blessed in my city and blessed in my field. Plus, 2/3 gotta burn while the rest of us heal. So I pray that I'm sealed. I'll be stomping with 144. Please bless the fruit of my body, my basket and my store. Would you please? Please bless the fruit of my body. Bless the fruit of my body, my basket and my store. Would you please? Please bless the fruit of my body. Bless the fruit of my body, my basket and my store. Please. Please. Turn it up. Out. Look around in the ghetto and tell me where the blessings. Baby mamas on welfare, children neglected. Brothers hating on one another, they too reckless. Government got conspiracies and we on a checklist. Inadequate living conditions and unemployment. How we build the economy, but they still destroy us. It's gotta be more than just a coincidence. Something is spiritual, but whatever I say blows in the wind. Cause I'll tell them and they look at me strange, which in turn will make me feel like I just labor in vain. You tell them God's black, but they laugh and shake their head in disagreement. Oh, ye of little faith, believe it. I'm pleading for your mercy and long suffering. We need this. Adopt us into the new covenant, and hopefully I'll be stomping with the 144. Bless the food of my body, my basket, and my store.
This is Johnson County Community. Our students find there tomorrow. Tap now or visit jace.edu.
Hey, mic check, mic check. Israel, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Israel? Mic check, mic check.
I remember I was back in the days, walls never came, sitting on sin, watching God back away. Hell in my mind, thoughts say wait. Spirit say sleep, daydream, move, Jake, damn. Viciously, made a small move like a fish sees. Then I read the book of the law bread, all the curses start fitting me. Literally, Lord start fitting me. Daydream got the gates open and the Lord start lifting me. From hell, from prison to the bars, yeah, came to me physically. First long, start cheering me. Knowing everything happened, cause the God so clear that it's meant to be. But I was back in the day, now I'm different. Now I changed to a new man, new creature, new plan. No more hanging with the heathens, change seasons. Got my new fam, all praises to my new chant, to my Abba, to my father. Did a two-step when I came to the new can. All praise to my new fan. Rip with a new cam, had to do it like King David with a new can. Now, no more walking with my head closed. They looking up, looking forward. With my heart full of pride, no more reason to be down. I remember I was back in the day. I used to pray. But if you know what's going on, stay. I remember I was back in the day. Pray for a better day. I found my way, so now I'm getting praised up.
Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, Israel. Can y'all hear us? Can y'all hear us? We about to go ahead and send our prayers. Welcome to the Daily Bread. It's IUIC, Kansas City. I'm Officer Reb. I got Officer, go ahead, say it.
Officer Lagboa.
Officer Laga here. Hey, sisters, cover your heads. Brothers, uncover your heads. All right, let's rise and face the east.
All right. Heavenly Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Deliver us from evil and lead us not into temptation, Lord Father. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
All praises, all praises. All right, y'all. All right, we here. Top of the morning, brethren. Top of the morning. All right, today we're gonna talk about marriage. All right, we're gonna talk about marriage. Things that's going on within the body that, hey, we gotta fix. We have to fix, in order for us to get up out of here, for us to get out of captivity. All right. So the topic is marriage 101. Where there's smoke, there is fire. You got to be able to identify. You ever heard that term before?
Yep.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. What that mean to you?
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Like if you see the signs, it is what it is.
Damn, man, boy, you in the spirit this morning on the Lord's Day, man. All praises. All right, so what we're gonna open up with is 1 Peter's 4:17. 1 Peter's 4:17. All right, and do we got a scribe? Let's see. 1 Peter's 4:17. You said midnight on there? Okay, do we got a scribe? One of you brothers can scribe for us. Let's see. Okay, all praises. All right, let's read that.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God.
So right here, Peter's letting us know right here. This is something that we all got to meditate on. He's telling us it's going to come to pass that judgment is going to start with the Israelites. Those that know this Bible, know who they are, know what's required of them. Judgment is going to start with us. All right, read that one more time. Watch this.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?
And it said, if it first begin with us, what should be the end of those that disobey, that know the requirements, know the criteria that's laid out for them as being married. Now, we got these new gadgets, we got to use them. Know the criteria of being married as far as being a man. What's your role? As far as being a wife, what's your role? The kids' role, how to move in perfect harmony. You understand? And if you're not moving in perfect harmony, Peter is telling you right now that guess what? Judgment is going to start with us. And think about this too. We know judgment is coming. You know what I'm saying? When you think about the scripture, it talk about as in the days of Noah. As in the days of Noah, so shall the Son of Man be. You think about what was going on during Noah's time. You understand? Let's get that right quick. Let's go all the way back to Genesis. What was going on during Noah's time? Genesis chapter 6, right quick. We ain't gonna spend too much time, but we just gonna touch on it. Let's start at verse 1.
Book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, the daughters were born unto them.
Really?
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
So this right here is describing interracial marriage. All right, you got the sons of God taking the sons of men, which we was not supposed to marry, and we were looking at them as they was fair, and we was taking them for wives, something we was not supposed to do. You know, what you see rampant here in society today, you seeing interracial marriages coming, it's at an all-time high, you know what I'm saying, of black men marrying white women, vice versa, Chinese, us marrying Moab women, you know what I'm saying, you got the black, the bishop just brought, you got the black woman marrying the white man, you understand, this is at an all-time high. So we know that guess what, as in the days of Noah, the Son of Man is going to come. Now watch this. We're going to jump down. Read verse 5, officer.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 5.
Watch this.
And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Is that not going on in the earth right now, today? Everybody, all our thoughts is just wickedness all the way around the board. Continually. You know what I'm saying? In marriage, nobody wants to take the low. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to get the last word in. You know what I'm saying? Just exclude marriage. You go out in society, it's all evil all around. All you see is pure wickedness. You know what I'm saying? You just seen a boy, I don't know if you saw it. I just watched last night. A boy got shot on live, doing a live video in his car. You know what I'm saying? 16 bullets. You understand? This is all we think about. You know what I mean? Is murder, having sex, adultery. You think about stuff that's going on within the body, fornication. Our minds is set on wickedness. Continually. You understand? Jump down. Keep reading, officer.
Verse 6. And it repented the Lord that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
Go ahead.
But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the...
He said, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. And that's just like us. We finding grace, we getting this understanding, but a lot of us is not taking advantage of this grace that we find in the eyes of the Lord. Amidst of all wickedness that he's pulling us out of. You understand? And so you got to understand, you got to see the signs of the times. You got to understand, look, when Christ said, when you see this, as in the days of Noah, you see this, know that I'm coming back. And know that judgment, when you go back, let's go back to 1 Peter. Know that what? Judgment is going to start with us, with those who know this Bible. Read that one more time, 1 Peter 4:17.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 17.
Go ahead.
For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God.
Read.
And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel
And
of
this is
God?
a question that, man, we all got to ask ourselves, man. What you think is going to befall you if you not obeying this gospel? You got all the tools in front of you, and you still not obeying this gospel. You still disrespecting your husband. You got the husbands mistreating your wife. You know what I'm saying? Adultery here, adultery there, fornication here, fornication there. What you think is going to befall you? Nobody's mortifying their members. Nobody's trying to get themselves together. You understand? So this is something we got to really all meditate on. Let's go to Sirach 6 right quick. Sirach 6 and 7. We got a lot to cover, so we're going to try to run through it. Sirach chapter 6, verse 7.
Right.
Go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
This is what the scripture is saying. For all you unmarried brothers and sisters, listen, what are you looking for when you proving somebody? You looking for companionship. You looking for a friend. That's what you looking for. All right, when you out, you talking to a sister. This is stuff that we didn't know because why? Just like we read in Genesis, the whole world is full of wickedness. So we think instead of talking to a sister at first, instead of getting to know a brother at first, going by the scriptures, let me just have sex with this sister first. Let me have sex with this brother first, instead of proving, do we even get along?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Do me and you even get along? Because guess what? After you can attest to this.
Yeah.
After a while, guess what? I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. The sex wears off. You understand? You got to start doing little things to spice the relationship up. But if you don't even like this person, if every day you waking up and you sighing and highin', it ain't gonna be too much you gonna want to do to put in place to rekindle that fire. And every few years, you gotta rekindle. The married brothers and sisters know what I'm talking about. You gotta rekindle that fire. You know what's the song? Fire. They Zimra out here. That's what we need though. But if you're not proving somebody to be a friend first and foremost, guess what? You're doing yourself a disservice in this truth. You're doing yourself a true disservice in this truth. And you got to understand, you're going to be judged for that. We're going to be judged for that. All right, read that one more time.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
Don't be hasty. Don't be hasty to say, you know what, that's my Lord. This is the one I want. You know what I'm saying? Leadership has told us, they have laid out the guidelines. Hey, you need at least a year. Allow this person to get mad, upset. You know what I'm saying? See how you gonna deal in the midst of adversity. You understand? So you can't be hasty just to prove somebody right out the gate, because you're gonna find yourself wrapped up with a true demon.
Exactly.
You understand? Wrapped up with a demon. All right, watch this. Go to Tobit 7 right quick, officer. Tobit 7. Let's give you some wisdom on how you prove, because, I don't know about it, from what I'm seeing, it's like brothers and sisters don't know how to prove, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of marriages popping up, but we don't have a lot of have a lot of weddings. You know what I'm saying? Wedding feasts. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of wedding. I mean, it's a lot of marriages.
A lot of marriages.
A lot of marriages popping up out of nowhere.
Not a lot of wedding feasts.
But not a lot of feast. Let's start at 7 and 1 right quick.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 7, verse 1. And when they were come to Ecbatane, they came to the house of Raguel, and Sarah met them. And after they had saluted one another, she brought them into the house. Then said Raguel to Edna, his wife, how like is this young man to Tobit, my cousin?
You see that this is the conversation. Look, Tobias is coming to Raguel, and he's asking his wife, man, who is this brother? Who is this brother to Tobit? What relationship they got? Watch this, read on.
And Raguel asked them, From whence are ye, brethren? To whom they said, we are of the sons of Nephthalim, which are captives in Nineveh. Then he said to them, do you know Tobit, our kinsman?
He said, from where are you from? Every father want to ask a question to somebody that's courting their daughter, that's interested in their daughter. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? That's one of the number one questions a father want to ask the brother before they hear that you slept with their daughter. Before you hear you defiled their daughter, you treated their daughter like a heathen. You want to ask that question, man. Hey, who are you? You understand what stock you come from? All these questions that Raguel is about to ask. Go ahead, watch this.
Then he said to them, do you know Tobit, our kinsman? And they said, we know him. Then said he, is he in good health? And they said, he is both alive and in good health. And Tobias said, he is my father. Then Raguel leaped up and kissed him and wept. And blessed him and said unto him, thou art the son of an honest and good man. But when he had heard that Tobit was blind, he was sorrowful and wept.
You see that? You want to know that, okay, you know what? This brother that you bring in here, that you bring in and presenting towards me, this come from good men. This come from good flock. But a lot of times, man, brothers don't be looking at it, because I know a lot of us is proselytes. I know that. We coming in, we converting to the truth. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't raised, we wasn't born in this. So our fathers would be who? The leadership. But a lot of us don't look at the fathers, leadership as fathers. So you're not even considering going to vice versa leadership, your leadership talking to this leadership, and then letting them set it up. Or let them say that, hey, you know what? You come from a good camp. I know the brothers that you learning under. You understand? You're not even considering that fact when we going out and you just taking a sister, going behind leadership back, sleeping with a sister. You're not considering that. Read on, watch this.
And likewise, Edna his wife and Sarah his daughter wept. Moreover, they entertained them cheerfully. And after that, they had killed a ram of the flock. They set store of meat on the table. Then said Tobias to Raphael, brother Azarias, speak of those things of which thou didst talk in the way, and let this business be dispatched. So he communicated the matter with Raguel.
So he did what?
He communicated the matter with Raguel.
He let Raguel know, hey, this is why we coming. This is why we moving. You know what I'm saying? Tobias didn't take his daughter and then go talk to the father, then go talk to leadership. Hey, leadership, I messed up. No, hey, brother, I messed up. No, he came and he let him know this is why we traveling. You understand? Gave this man an opportunity. Now watch this, read.
And Raguel said to Tobias, eat and drink and make merry.
Read.
For it is meet that thou shouldest marry my daughter.
He said, look, it's meet that you should marry my daughter. Give this man an opportunity to give his daughter away. It's meet that you should marry her, Rick.
Nevertheless, I will declare unto thee the truth.
But let me tell you some characteristics about my daughter. But brothers don't want that. Brothers don't want to hear the ins and outs of sisters through leadership. No, they don't want that.
Hey, and it's funny because leadership will tell you, hey, that sister's not ready. How many stories have Bishop told where he said, hey, man, this sister's not ready. I don't think this is a right sister for you, because they have the knowledge. They said, let me tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you the truth on the matter of this sister. And they like, nah, I want to marry her anyway.
I think you're trying to keep me away from this pretty sister.
I want to deal with the sister anyway.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I don't think you want me to have a good-looking sister.
She's the one for me, Bishop.
And that ain't the case, bro. We trying to save y'all from a lifetime of hardship, bro. Of waking up every day wondering, how did I get here? You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to identify the smoke. You didn't identify the smoke. You went in the house. It was smoky. She getting all the signs is there. All the signs is there that guess what? You can't save her. Don't save her. You can't save her.
She don't want to be saved.
All the signs is there, but guess what? You went through the smoke and you still got her, ran out, and now guess what? Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Level 3, level 4, level 5 demon and growing. You got to be able to identify that smoke, man. Hey, from there, give me let's go to the Zonovan right quick. You got your Zonovan on you?
Not on me.
Let me see. Let me pull it out. Let's go to the Zonovan. Let's see what marriage is. Let's go to page 345 right quick. Watch this. 345. Y'all got y'all Zonovan? Pull y'all Zonovan out. I know y'all ain't gonna be able to see it, so just listen up. Just listen up.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Yeah, bro. It gets work.
I'm gonna get you another one, bro.
You probably just need that second half of the book.
I got you. 345.
345. Go back. Yeah, right there. Let's read that. Watch this.
The Zondervan Compact Dictionary, page 345. Marriage is an intimate personal union to which a man and woman consent, consummated, and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse and perfected in a lifelong partnership.
Hold on. Read that one more time, man.
Is an
Read it from the
marriage.
top. Yeah, go ahead.
Marriage is an intimate personal union.
It says an intimate personal union between two people. Intimate personal union. Read.
Hold on, not between two people. To which a man and woman
Okay.
consent.
Okay, which a man and a woman consent. Meaning what? They agree. They agree. Not you humble us. You punch her in the stomach and humble her. They agree, right?
Consent, consummated, and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
It said, and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse. Continuously nourished by sexual intercourse. Not that a sister can say, guess what? You know what? I'm mad. Or a brother can say, you know what? I'm mad. I'm not going to give you sex. You understand? No, you have to nourish that marriage. This union is telling you it's nourished with sexual intercourse. But what happened is you don't like the sister. You going off of lust. Then with that, what they call it, the nut clarity. Let's keep it real. When that nut clarity comes, because you don't see nothing, no qualities, you don't see no. Give me some words, man. Give me some nice words, bro. You don't see nothing that's that attracts you outside of sex. Then guess what, bro? That's gonna wear off. You can't nourish your relationship because now you looking at her, you looking at she every time you say something, she walking off, huffing and puffing. Do you want to have sex with something like that?
Nope.
Hell no, you don't want to have sex. I don't. You understand? So guess what? Because you went about it the wrong way, that's what you did. That's what you dealt with. That's the cards you dealt with.
But look at this, officer. The way it's worded, it says and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse. It's nourished, not started. So that's one thing you got to understand. It's not started by sexual intercourse. It's nourished by sexual intercourse. So you got to prove that person as a friend. You prove that person that this is the person you want to be with. And then as time goes along, your marriage, your friendship is nourished by the sexual intercourse. That's not the only thing. It's nourished by it. It's built up by it.
Right.
Not started by it.
Go ahead. Keep going. Where you at?
And perfected in a lifelong partnership of mutual love and commitment.
Go ahead.
It is also a social institution regulated by the word of God.
It said it's a social institution and it's regulated. It's supposed to be regulated, controlled by the word of God. Meaning what? The man knows his role. The wife knows her role. Everybody's on the same page and they agree with what's going on. If somebody gets out of bounds, we know where to go to get back on track. You understand? Go ahead.
It is also a social institution regulated by the word of God and by the laws and customs which a society develops to safeguard its own continuity and welfare.
It said marriage is a safeguard of your community. So what did they attack first? What did Esau attack first? He attacked marriage. He attacked marriage. He's still attacking marriage. How? Through the television, through music. Everything we getting that's pushed up on us is anti-marriage. So when you don't have successful marriages in our community, that's what's the word? Detrimental. That's detrimental to the community. Like how many, like think about it, how many honestly successful marriages did you see growing up? If anybody had 5 or more of successful marriages that you saw in your community, depending on how old you are, is how you gonna answer that question. You understand? Because when my grandmother was coming up, that was the thing. You was getting married. You understand? And as I was coming up, it was kind of the tail end of it. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, bruh,
No way.
nobody's getting married. Nobody's getting married. Now, ain't nobody even thinking about marriage.
Hold on. They getting married.
You
They
know,
having weddings, but
they're not honoring it.
They not in a marriage.
They don't. But those are the ones that's ignorant to the fact of the word of God.
Yep.
You understand? You ignorant to the fact of the commitment of the fear of the Lord. So we're not talking about those that's in the truth. When you come into the truth and you understand that, look, these are the roles. This is how I'm supposed to be dealing with you. This is how you're supposed to be dealing with me. And you saying to hell with it. You understand? You saying to hell with it. Guess what? You're not identifying the smoke. You're not identifying the problems that's coming up within your marriage to understand that, guess what? It's a fire. It's a fire in the house. And that's detrimental to those that are around you. Not just to you, but those that are around you. Go ahead. Keep going. Is that it on that?
It's a little bit more.
Go ahead.
Which society develops to safeguard its own continuity and welfare. The Creator made man and woman, displaying his full image only as both man and woman. Each is made for the other. Their essential nature being complementary.
He said it's in our nature to complement one another. That's in your nature to complement one another. Not the woman, you do the man role. Not the man. Now I'm talking about I want to stay at home and be a Hollywood Israelite house husband. No, y'all. It's in our nature to go out and work, provide for our family. It's in her nature to take care of the household. You know what I'm saying? To look well after the kids. Our nature is supposed to complement each other. Go ahead.
And brought into oneness in marriage. Marriage is the sacrament of human society. Husband and wife both share and perpetuate their happiness in having and rearing a family within the sphere of their own love. Thus, marriage is more than an end in itself. It is the means to ends outside the married couple.
Go ahead.
The
read all the way down to emergence. Go ahead.
The unity of husband and wife is of God's creative will. For from him come the love and grace which enable them to grow together in life, comradeship, to beget children and to fulfill their responsibilities toward their children and to society,
Right?
as a family unit.
Right.
Husband and wife become one in relation to the community so that through marriage a new social unit emerges.
You see that thing? That's heavy. That's heavy. That's what marriage is supposed to be about. But if you're going outside of the order that marriage is how it's laid out for you, guess what, man? That's detrimental to us as a community, to our people. And this is where we coming into the truth. We trying to rebuild this thing. We trying to rebuild. Guess what? Marriage is an honorable thing. You understand? So guess what? Now, as you got the criteria, listen, all you have to do is apply. That's what you got to do. You have to apply what it is that you need to apply. Don't worry about what he's doing. Don't worry about what she's doing. Make sure that you blameless in the situation. But nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to identify the problem, the smoke, before the whole thing burns down. You understand? Let's get give me 1 Corinthians right quick, officer. 1 Corinthians 7:28 right quick.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 28.
Go ahead.
But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh.
So right here, Paul's letting us know that guess what? There's going to be issues that arise. You're going to have trouble in the flesh. Why are you going to have trouble in the flesh? Because you're trying to get two people to come together in a union under as one. That's why you're going to have trouble in the flesh. Give me Ephesians right quick. Ephesians 5:31. You got to know this. There's going to be issues. We ain't sitting up here saying it ain't going to be no issues. But guess what? You got to identify the smoke. Be able to put the smoke out. Don't sit in a house, in a smoky house, while it's burning down. Don't say nothing. Like everything is all right. No, you got to identify what is going on. Where I tell you to go? Ephesians 5. Go ahead.
This is a book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 31.
Go ahead.
For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh.
He said, they two shall be one flesh. You have two people with their own will trying to come under the will of the Father. Guess what you have to do? You have to live by the example that Christ left us. What was the example? Let's get that in 1 Peter's right quick. A lot of times we read this when it's just talking about sin, right? Watch this. 1 Peter's, 2? Let's get this. 1 Peter's chapter 2, verse, let's start at verse 21.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 21.
Go ahead.
For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye shall follow his steps.
What's the example? Let's go to John chapter 5. Let's see what the example is. Actually, I want the one, let me look at it. 6 and 38. Let's see what was the example that Christ left for us. What was the example? You got two people coming with their own will. What was the example that Christ left for these two people coming into the union of a marriage? Rick?
This is the book of John, chapter 6, verse 38. For I came down from heaven, not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me.
So Christ subdued his own will and did who? The will of the Father. The will, these laws. He kept the commandment. So when you, as a two partner, when you go back to Ephesians 5 and 30, what was it, 31?
5 and 31.
When you go back to Ephesians 5 and 31, understand that you got two people, the male and the female, leaving the comfort of the mother and their father, and they coming together. What is the example that Christ left us? To subdue our own will and do the will of the Father. Read that again.
This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 31.
Go ahead.
For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother,
Go ahead.
and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh.
So you're going to have trouble in the flesh when you leave, when you join yourself to another flesh. Because you're trying to get two wielded people to come under the guidelines of the Bible, to be regulated by the word of God. You understand? That's what you're doing. That's what we're doing, right? Right or wrong? So how do you be able to identify the smoke? If you study and you see, okay, you know what? That's outside the guidelines right there. This is outside the guidelines of what I'm reading. You understand? That's smoke. You understand? So we got to subdue your own understanding and do the will of the Father. Read, go back to Ephesians. Keep reading.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 32.
Go ahead.
This is a great mystery.
He said, this is a mystery. How do you get two people to come together and do one will? That's a mystery. Read.
But I speak concerning Christ and the church. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself.
So the scriptures say, love your wife even as yourself. Do you want your wife cheating on you?
Nope.
Committing adultery?
Nope.
No. Do you want your wife fornicating on you?
Nope.
Hell nah. So you're supposed to love your wife as yourself. Cherish your wife as you cherish yourself. But I think I know what it is. Brothers hate themselves, bro. I think I know what it is, bro. Brothers hate themselves.
A lot of people do hate
A
themselves.
lot of people really are not comfortable in their own skin. And they lash out. You lash out on your wife. You lashing out on your partner. They're supposed to be complimenting you. They're supposed to be helping you build up.
But that's the point in waiting for marriage. That's why leadership tells you to wait, because you come in sick. We know that you coming in sick. We know that you coming in with problems. We know that you coming in with self-esteem issues, depression issues. You haven't been loved properly. You don't know how to be loved properly. You don't know how to value. You have vacant esteem to where you don't see yourself as a king or a queen or a princess. You don't see yourself in high regard. So until you know how to look at yourself and your value and your worth, and this is for men and women, until you know and really understand, I am an Israelite, I am something special, you don't need to be married. Until you understand that about yourself, until you believe it in yourself, because the way you treat yourself, if you disrespecting yourself, like we got this thing burning the fat.
Right.
You don't eat right. You don't take care of yourself. How you gonna take care of somebody else?
No, you're not.
Exactly. You do detrimental things to you. You still on drugs. You still smoking cigarettes. You still hiding and drinking alcohol every day, getting drunk, and try to play it off. How you gonna take care of somebody else? You are not ready to be with anybody else. You need to wait.
You need to wait and get yourself together. And brothers, hey, we don't be understanding that. We want to go outside of the examples that our forefathers left us of, hey, go and talking to leadership. Go and talk to their father. They might have fathers in the world. Go talk to their father. You know what I'm saying? See what type of family they come from. We don't want that. You just, as soon as a sister come in here, you just want to jump the gun. And you don't know that this sister don't even believe. This brother don't even believe. And they hate themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give these people time, bro, to grow. You understand? Was that it on that, officer? No,
It's a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a whole lot more. Go ahead.
Nevertheless,
Start over. Yeah, go. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself,
Read.
and the wife see that she reverence her husband.
See that she reverence her husband. Reverence. That means you're supposed to have a deep respect for your husband. Not cussing your husband out. Not disrespecting your husband. Here he is paying all the bills, working and everything, and you are out of your ungrateful mouth. You let some stuff come out talking about, I'm not happy. You ain't doing this A, B, and C. That's ungrateful as hell, bro. That's showing no respect for the husband. Period. No respect.
Period.
You understand? And I'm telling you, bro, a lot of sisters don't believe. And it's just being manifested. I thought I was tripping. Like, bitch, I'm like, damn, they just be going in on the sisters. But as I'm growing as a young man, I'm seeing it for myself. Like, sisters come in here, bro, and they be shalom and shalom. They'll shalom the leadership. And we said this weekend.
Yep.
They'll treat leadership better than you will treat your husband at home. And the husband sitting here, he's confused. Where is this person when I get to the house?
And really, it's still fake with the leadership,
It
because
is.
let leadership say something they don't like. Oh, they gonna flip on leader. Hey, let me give y'all some game. Let me give y'all a free point, brothers. A free point. How do you know if the woman that you proven will reverence you? It's simple. Does she reverence her leadership? Does she listen to the counsel that's given by her leadership? If her leadership come in and say, hey, sis, I think you be good at doing this, and she putting forth the effort and trying, you might have a good sister on your hand. If she come to you and be like, well, leadership told me to try that, but I think I'm good. I think I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
There's
right,
some
sis.
smoke. There's some smoke.
He don't identify the smoke. He just on there thinking with Peter, the other Peter. Yeah, you're right, sis.
You're right. Leadership wrong.
Yeah,
They don't know you. They don't know you like I know you.
I talk to you every day. You know what I'm saying?
They don't understand. They don't get you. You different.
Yeah, you're right. You are different. You are different. Read that again.
Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband.
The wife is supposed to reverence your husband. You're supposed to have deep respect for your husband. You understand? Knowing how just to follow. Knowing how to follow. That's a hard thing for the Babylonian woman. It's just to knowing how to submit. You understand? Give me Sirach right quick. Sirach 22 right quick. 22 and 24. Sisters just be man, they just be popping off at the mouth. Don't care what's coming out. And this is sisters in the truth. I'm seeing. These are sisters in the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be in the world and be ignorant to the fact. You know how they talk in the world. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? But in the truth, and you still calling your husband a BAN, you know what I'm saying? You don't have no respect for your husband, and ultimately you don't have no respect for yourself. All right? Let's get that. Sirach 22:24.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 22, verse 24.
Right?
As the vapor and smoke of a furnace goeth before the fire.
So he's letting you know, as vapor and smoke go before, that's an indicating that guess what? It's a fire. It's a fire happening. Somewhere in the house, something's on fire. You understand? Read, watch this.
So reviling before blood.
Can we get that definition? Reviling? He says, so reviling before blood. So he's comparing it, man. Like, if you see smoke, you see vapor, you know there's a problem. If you at the house and you reviling one another, you reviling your husband, you don't have no respect for your husband. What's the definition of reviling?
It says revile.
Get some synonyms too.
To subject to verbal abuse.
You know what I'm saying? To subject to verbal abuse. This should let you know that guess what? There's some smoke in the house. If y'all disrespecting each other, talking to each other any type of way, there's smoke in the house. And if there's smoke in the house, you're in danger of that hellfire. You're in danger of fire, of being destroyed. You understand? What's some synonyms?
Scold. Upbraid.
You want to touch on scold? Because that seems like it hits you. You want to touch on that? You just scolding a person. You know what I'm saying? You want to touch on it?
No, it's all good.
You don't want to touch on it? All right. It said when you type scold, type that.
Click on that. That's not an average Negro
That's not
word.
average
That's
Negro
why I
word.
couldn't touch it. I didn't want to touch on it without being sure
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
the definition was.
You good?
All right, scold.
Uh-huh.
To censor, usually severely or angrily. Rebuke.
To rebuke somebody angrily. I'll give you an example. Listen, you correcting your wife, right? She don't like it. She get upset. You say, hey, this is the end of the conversation. You try to walk off. She behind you. This, you ain't shit. I'm sorry, you ain't this, that, and the third. What do you think he gonna do? He gonna come back. If he's not operating in the spirit, he gonna come back and he gonna go up a level higher.
Yep.
And scold you. Now y'all back scolding each other, reveling back and forth with each other. He's telling you, guess what? There's smoke in the house. There's smoke within your marriage that guess what? You can't identify. And you don't understand it. Guess what? It's fire. It's soon to come. Go back to that. Go back to that. I'm
Got it.
telling you, bro.
There you go. All right. Scold. These are synonyms for revile. Scold, upbraid, berate, rail, revile,
Dang.
vituperate.
Yeah,
I don't know that
what that word
That is
means.
not a Negro word.
Well, we're going to leave it there. Scold. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that, man. Like, bruh, you have to be able to identify the issues that's going on within your marriage if you care about your marriage, if you care about regulating your household. You care about that judgment is coming to us first. you got to understand, see the warning signs that guess what? This is a problem because we gonna have trouble in the flesh. Don't add gasoline to the fire. That's what scolding is. When you just adding gasoline to smoke that you already see.
You see a smoke in the house and you run in with gasoline,
right,
to try to help the smoke.
To try to help. That's not the answer. The answer is to get on the phone, try to get counsel. You understand? Give me Galatians 5 right quick. Galatians 5. We got to understand that's not the answer. Bishop Kanat always says, man, somebody got to be in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to be in the spirit. Both of y'all can't be going back and forth at each other's necks. But this will be happening in Israel. Not everybody. We ain't saying we got a congregation full of bad marriages, but it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that be on Facebook, Shalom, this is my Lord smiling. Those are the ones right there. I'm telling you, those are the ones right there at home, bruh.
Fighting.
It's hell on wheels, bruh. They don't see the smoke, bruh. Read what you got.
You got
Galatians 5 and 14.
The book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 14.
Come on.
For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
He said all the law is fulfilled in that right there. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Treating that partner as you would want to be treated. Read, watch this.
But if ye bite and devour one another.
But if y'all sitting back biting and reviling one another, devouring one another, read.
Take heed that ye be not consumed one of another.
He said y'all gonna consume each other. That's what's gonna end up happening. There's no way around it. If you biting and devouring one another, somebody ain't in the spirit. You understand? Neither one of y'all in the spirit. Y'all just, I want to be right. I want to be right. When pride sets in. You understand? Give me that Sirach 22. Let's go back to that right quick. Forgot something. Sirach 22. Read verse 22.
This is the
Watch
book.
this. Go ahead.
Sirach chapter 22, verse 22. If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, for there may be a reconciliation.
He said, if you open your mouth, now let's say you do get into an argument. He said, if you open your mouth against your friend, guess what? You can reconcile from that thing. You can come back from that. But watch this, read.
Except for upbraiding.
He said, except for when you upbraiding, read, watch this.
Or pride.
When you got so much pride on you where you go outside. Remember, pride is the beginning of separating from the Father. You separating from your role as a woman, as a man. Some people don't know the roles, so let me tell you the roles. As a woman, 1 Peter chapter 3, that's your criteria as a woman right there. Titus 2, right?
Titus 2.
That's your criteria. As men in marriage, you got 1 Peter chapter 5. You got 1 Timothy chapter 3. Titus 2. Once you get pride on you and you go outside of that and you just going back and forth with your wife, it don't matter what she's doing. It don't matter what he's doing. Somebody got to be blameless in the situation. Somebody got to be able to identify, is smoke in the house. Let's put this smoke out before we burn the house down. And we sitting, both of us looking like, how do we get here? Because nobody wanted to identify the smoke. Everybody wanted all the smoke. That's the saying, man. Give me all the smoke. I want all the smoke. You watching too much TV. That's the problem. Read, keep reading, watch this.
If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend.
So if y'all do get into an argument, y'all do a situation where
a disagreement.
It says what?
Fear not, for there may be a reconciliation.
That you can reconcile in that situation. Read.
Except for upbraiding or pride or disclosing of secrets.
That's a big one in Israel. A lot of y'all, and it's mostly, I say sisters, and you can attest to it. a lot of sisters, y'all don't understand. First, what is that? Sirach 6 and 7. Prove a friend. The first time something happened within your household, you go out and you running your mouth about issues in your household to a sister that can't hold water. That can't hold water. She can't wait to tell somebody. And the scriptures talk about that. When you disclose it, we got to get
Hold on. They don't go to a counselor.
No.
They don't go to one of the
older sisters.
the sisters that been married, been through it, that can give them the advice they need to deal with it. They go to the person who just walked in the door 2 months ago
and don't know that this sister can't keep her mouth. Have you met people like this? You tell them something, and I'm telling you, bro, 20 minutes later, they got to tell somebody. The first person they run into, they got to tell, bro. We're going to hold this. Watch this. Go to Sirach 19 and 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 10.
Go ahead.
If thou hast heard a word, let it die with thee.
Certain people don't know this. They never heard this. They never heard this verse. If you hear something that's going on, the scriptures say, let it die with you, Rick.
And be bold, it will not burst thee.
Some people don't know that. Some people feel like this, Rick. Watch this.
A fool travaileth with a word, as a woman in labor of a child.
They ready to get rid of that thing. I'm ready to get. You ever seen a woman laboring? She ready to get it over with. She got faces. She's don't touch. She ready. Read on. Watch this.
As an arrow that sticketh in a man's thigh.
You ever had an arrow in your thigh? Uncomfortable. You can't wait to get to the ER, see the doctor. Read.
So is a word within a fool's belly.
He said that's like when you disclosing information within your marriage to a fool, to somebody that just walked in the door that you ain't proved yet. They ready to tell the next person such and such household is A, B, and C. So go back to Sirach. Where was we at? 22 and 22 again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 22, 22.
Come on.
If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, for there may be a reconciliation.
Rick.
Except.
It said except. Except, Rick.
For upbraiding or pride or disclosing of secrets.
When you going through things in your household, you don't go out and just tell the first person. You don't tell a person that you ain't proven with this information. Because now everybody's looking, you tell this sister tell that sister, she telling this sister. Now the whole congregation looking at y'all, both of y'all crazy. You don't even know.
Disclaimer. This is talking about sin. Or not talking about sin.
No, not talking about sin.
This is not talking about sin. If there's sin in the household, you tell that thing. You go and you, hey, my husband is
doing
in sin.
Right.
You know, my wife is in sin. You don't hold that.
Right.
But, you know, if y'all got some issues going on, you ain't got to go to, hey, we argue about some spilled milk. You ain't got to go tell nobody, you know, that. Go talk to a counselor.
My husband don't take a shower. You know what I'm saying? That's something you don't disclose. My wife don't take showers. My wife take a shower every 3 days.
Yep.
She used the same towel for a week.
She cooked the same macaroni and cheese
You know
every
what
day.
I'm saying? That's some stuff that you don't tell everybody. But as soon as somebody get mad, girl, she on the phone. Girl, you know he ain't took a shower since Tuesday. It's the Sabbath.
You know, officer such and such don't take showers.
Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about right now? What are we talking about? Now that everybody don't want to sit next to the brother.
When the brother come, they pointing at him.
It ain't no reconciling with that thing. You ain't no coming back with that thing. You understand? Now you're going to be looking at you crazy. Go ahead.
Disclosing of secrets or a treacherous womb.
Or a treacherous room. Go ahead.
For these things, every friend will depart.
Guess what? He going to be ready or she going to be ready to get away from you. You understand? They're going to be ready to get away from you because why? You can't hold water. You cannot hold water. And you going out and you telling brothers and sisters about your personal issues that's going on within your house instead of just dealing with it. All right? From there, let's go to Genesis right quick. Genesis 20. So in a marriage, you gotta have two people. Y'all gotta be on one accord. You gotta be on one accord. You got two people coming together, denying their own will, doing the will of the Father, being on one accord. Watch this. Genesis chapter 20, let's start at verse 1.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 1.
Come on.
And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelled between Kadesh and Shur, and so sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah.
So you got right here, you got the king right here. Abraham trying to put things in place to preserve life. Said, look, this is my sister. You understand? This is my sister. Watch this. Read on. Watch this.
But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night.
Abimelech like, okay, this your sister. Let me have her. But God stepped in and came to him by night and did what, Rick? Watch this.
And said to him, behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. But Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Said he not unto me, she is not my sister? And she herself said, he is my brother.
It says she even herself said, guess what? This is my brother. They was on one accord. She wasn't bucking up against Abraham talking about, I ain't your sister, I'm your wife.
How you not gonna claim me?
How you not gonna claim me as your wife?
How you not? You don't love me, nigga?
You gotta be on one accord with your Lord. If your Lord is telling you to do something it ain't sin, it behooves you to do it. That's the example that Sarah's laid out for y'all. That your foremothers is laid out. It said even she herself agreed with Abraham and said, look, this is my brother. She was going along with the program. Wow. Let's jump to verse 9.
This is Genesis 20, verse 9.
Wow, let's read.
Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, why hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin?
So even the other nations knew dealing with somebody else's wife, committing adultery, that's a great sin. That's no understanding when you commit adultery. No understanding. Read, watch this.
Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, what sayest thou that thou hast done this thing? And Abraham said, because I thought surely the fear of God is not in this place.
He's like, man, look, don't nobody keep the laws in this place. Y'all was going to take her. If I said this is my wife, y'all was going to take her, bruh. Like, man, this is my sister. You understand? Read, watch this.
And they will slay me for my wife's sake.
And they was going to slay him. He's like, bro, I don't know if y'all keeping the laws or not. You know what I'm saying? But watch this, Rick.
And yet, indeed, she is my sister.
He said, indeed, she is my sister, Rick.
She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife.
Now watch this, verse 13.
And it came to pass when God caused me to wander from my father's house that I said unto her,
look at what Abraham said unto Sarah. Read.
this is thy kindness, which thou shalt show unto me.
This is the kindness that you shall show unto me, Sarah. Read.
At every place whither we shall come, say of me, he is my brother.
He said, this is how you show that, guess what? You are kind unto me. Give me the definition of kindness right quick, bro. Is it up there? Go to Google. Go to Google and kindness. No, that's it. That's good right there. Read that.
It says the kindness, the quality or state of being kind.
Read. Go down
A
there.
kind deed, favor.
Favor. This is the favor that you showing unto me when, guess what? You agree with me. That's how you show your Lord favor. That's how you show your Lord reverence in agreeing to the things that he's laying out. Not going against the program. You understand? What's some synonyms? You got some synonyms up there? Go ahead.
Benevolence. Boon. I don't know what that word is.
One is. Go ahead.
Courtesy.
Courtesy, read.
Favor. Grace. Indulgence. Mercy. Service.
Service. Because why? Remember, Genesis says she's a what? What is a woman supposed to be to a man? A
Help
helpmeet.
me.
You're supposed to be a helpmeet. So when Abraham laid it out and said, look, this is how you show me kindness. Proclaim that you my sister in the land. And that's exactly what Sarah did. Didn't go against the program. Let's go to Toby right quick. Toby 4-1. Didn't go against the program. And this is what a lot of sisters got to understand. Because when a lot of sisters when they go against the program, what happened? Things start happening in your life. Stuff start getting chaotic. Then all of a sudden you reviling in your husband's ear. You all in his ear. You understand? Different things happen in the household, whether it be the plumbing stop working. You know what I'm saying? What else could happen in the household, man? The AC cut off, the heat, no heat in the middle of winter. You know what I'm saying? You because y'all arguing, y'all going back and forth, these things are happening in the household. And you don't be understanding, like, man, why is this going on? Because
why
guess
both
what?
cars break down?
Why both cars break down
sudden.
at the same time? And you don't be understanding that, guess what? It's
Yep.
because y'all not on one accord. You not on one accord. And then what be worse is sisters, like, say something happened. You have an issue in the house, right? A sister be on her brother's back like the issue ain't on this brother's mind.
Like he ain't thinking about, like he like sitting with no AC, or he like both cars, bro.
Yeah.
Can't get to
And,
work.
and she'll be on his back like, you ain't ish. What you doing? Hey, we need to do A, B, and C. Watch this. Give me Toby right quick.
Tobit 4:1.
Yeah.
The book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 1. And that day Tobit remembered the money which he had committed to Gabriel and Ragas of Medea.
Now remember the story. If you read Tobit, the story is, guess what? Toby was blind, right? He was blind at this time. So Tobit's sitting back. He's still thinking about how to take care of his family. He get the thought in his mind. Look, dang, I committed some money to this brother. I need to go get the bag.
I need to go
You
get my money
understand?
back.
I need to go get down. I need this money. Toby wasn't just sitting around in his blind while his wife. Let's go back. Let's go back a chapter because we just came here just to get it. Toby 2:11. 2:9.
The book of Tobit, chapter 2, verse 9.
Yep.
The same night also I returned from the burial and slept by the wall of my courtyard, being polluted, and my face was uncovered. And I knew not that there were sparrows in the wall. And my eyes
So
being...
this is Toby going around doing a service to his people, burying his people while they getting persecuted under the Assyrian captivity, under the Assyrian king. He doing a service to his people, right? Read.
And my eyes being open, the sparrows mudded warm dung into my eyes.
Right.
And all whiteness came in my eyes. And I went to the physicians, but they helped me not. Moreover,
Try your best, brother.
Achiorus did nourish me until I went into Eliamas.
So now you got this sparrow who put the dung, who wasted the dung in his eyes. Now he's blind, right? Read. Look at verse 11. Read.
And my wife Anna did take woman's work to
She
do.
came up and said, guess what? You know what? I'm going to take up the slack. I'm going to take woman's work. Read.
And when she had sent them home to the owners, they paid her wages and gave her also besides a kid.
Now, was Tobit not just thinking about providing for his family because he was in a blind state? No. Go back to Tobit chapter 4, verse 1.
And
But some women be thinking because stuff is going chaotic that the man is just not thinking about what the hell's going on around him.
like he ain't stressed out.
Like he ain't sitting here in this blind state. I got to take care of my family. Read, go ahead.
Tobit chapter 4 verse 1.
Come on.
And that day Tobit remembered the money which he had committed.
So he was pondering on this thing. Hey, how I'm going to take care of my family? Oh, I done gave this brother some money. Read.
to Gabriel and Ragas of Medea, and said with himself, I have wished for death. Wherefore do I not call for my son Tobias, that I may signify to him of the money before I die?
Say, look, I wanted. He was at the point where he was wishing for death. He like, you know what? Let me call Tobias so he can go get this money. You understand? Let's jump over. Jump over to 5 and 17.
The book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse 17.
Yes, sir.
But Anna, his mother, wept and said, Tobit, why hast thou sent away our son? Is he not the staff of our hand and going in and out before us?
So she asking him a question now. Tobit made the decision. I'm going to send Tobias out. She like, man, this is our strength. This is our strength. Watch this, read.
Be not greedy to add money to money.
How many sisters will be have that spirit on them? You know what I'm saying? The first, she like, look, don't be greedy to add money to money.
Don't send our son out.
You know what I'm saying?
good.
How
We
many
straight.
sisters will have that spirit on them right there? Because this is what she's saying, Reed. Watch this, Reed.
Be not greedy to add money to money, but let it be a refuse in respect of our
He
child.
said, in the respect of our child, forget that money that you back. Look, I'm out here working. I can take care of this. No. Not the Babylonian woman. Not the repentant woman. Nah, bruh. Get your butt up in your blind state and go get a Uber job. That's what she'll tell you.
Go get a service dog and,
You know, go get you a service.
and do something.
Go do something. Do a service job. Do something. She'll send her husband out blind as a bat to drive Uber. I'm telling you, this is some of the stuff
Hey.
that women do, bro.
Really?
Hey, you think it's a joke? Some of these women don't reverence their husband, cause she know when he get over in that wheel, and he can't see nothing. What's gonna happen? It's gonna be an accident. He's dead. Guess what? Woman, thou art loose. You know what I'm saying? That's what she thinking in her mind. Remember, Genesis 6 said our minds is continually wicked. Go ahead.
For that which, verse 19, for that which the Lord have given us to live with does suffice us.
Go ahead.
Then said Tobit to her, take no care, my sister. He shall return in safety, and thine eyes shall see him. For the good angel will keep him company, and his journey shall be prosperous.
You see that? At that point, Tobit comforted her. Said, look, listen, take no care. Don't worry about this. I got this. I got this. Did she come back and go back and forth with him? No. You got to understand that. She followed the program. You understand? That's what sisters got to do. I don't know how many sisters would go in and say, hey, the money that we got would suffice us.
We good.
You understand? Not a lot of sisters would do that. But this is where our sisters got to get their mind to. Right here. You understand? Let's go to Ephesians right quick, officer. Ephesians 4 and 29 right quick.
You ready?
Yep.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 29.
Go ahead.
Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth.
This is what you got to be mindful of in your relationship. Don't let corrupt communication come out of your mouth at any time. You know what I'm saying? You got to really, when the scriptures say mortify your members, you really have to mortify your members. You really have to mortify your member. And that's one of the most dangerous members the Bible talk about. It's a little member, but it boasts of great things. The tongue. Sisters got to be able to understand, and brothers, you got to be able to understand Ecclesiastes chapter 3. It's a time and place for everything. Sometimes, sister, it's a time to be quiet, to be silent, and it's a time to speak. Sometimes your opinion is not wanted. Sometimes. You got to understand that.
Or not needed.
It's not needed. Not wanted or needed. You know, you ever been in a situation like you just hot, you don't want to hear nothing? And ask the sister, when you tell your kids to go do something, do you want their opinion? Do you need their opinion?
No.
So it's not wanted or needed. You understand? But you got to know that.
Yeah.
You have to know that. You got to know your husband. That go back to Sirach 6. It's 7. That's friendship. You know what I'm saying? If a woman knows her husband, she knows, okay, now is not the time to express my opinion. Let him calm down, and then I'll come back. But sister don't want to do that. She don't want to execute time and place. She don't know how to mortify your member on this earth. Hey, hold that. Go to Sirach 2 right quick. We're going to come right back. Sirach 2. When the scriptures say this, you got to really meditate on what it's actually saying in this walk. Sirach chapter 2. Start at verse 1 right quick. Read 1 and 2.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse, you said 1?
Chapter 2, verse 1.
Chapter 2, verse one. My apologies.
No, you good.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Your temptation might be your tongue. Wanting to say everything that hits your mind. You know, in the hood, that's what we used to do. We say the first thing that hit our minds. You know what I'm saying? We just let it go, and we'll worry about the consequences after. That might be your temptation in this walk. Where, guess what? You got to prepare yourself for this temptation. But watch this, Rick.
Set thy heart aright.
You got to get your mind all right. Okay, you know what? Ecclesiastes 3 tell me it's a time and place for everything. James is telling me how this tongue is a little member and it boasts great things. I got to mortify this thing. Set your mind all right, Rush, read.
And constantly endure.
You have to constantly tell yourself, hey, this is not the time to speak. That's endurance. You know how many times the stuff that I'm dealing with, how many times I got to remind myself, hey, this ain't what you want to do right now. This ain't what, and it's a constant. This ain't what you want to do. You know you're dealing with that. This ain't what you want to do. Don't go that way. You understand? That's constantly enduring. You understand, officer?
Yep.
I hope they understand. This is what Sirach 2 is all about. But sisters, don't be enduring that temptation. You just give in to the temptation. You just give in to your lust. You give in to your will. No, you got to constantly endure that thing. Constantly tell yourself, I deal with my tongue. I deal with opening my mouth. Let me close my mouth right now. Let me be quiet.
It's funny. It's heavy you say that because a lot of sisters, they are good when things are good. Mm-hmm. But when things go bad, that's when it's a problem. That's when they forget this, that, hey, you know, there's going to be bad times and that time is when that's what I tell my wife. I'm like, hey, I measure you on not when things are good, not when everything is running smoothly. I don't measure your growth on that. I measure your growth when you got an attitude. How you going to act when you got an attitude?
When there's smoke in the house.
Yeah. How you going to act then? Are you still going to abide by the lessons that you learn, the things that I've taught you to do, how to control your spirit? Because 9 times out of 10, the woman don't know how to control her spirit when things are going wrong.
Right.
When everything's honky-dory, it's, all
good.
praises, shalom, this and that. But the moment they get an attitude, the moment things ain't going right, the moment it's a problem, then you forget everything you learn.
You forget all the training.
And you're forgetting that constantly endure. Constantly endure.
And brothers too. Brothers be the same way too. That's why a lot of brothers is falling in adultery and fornication. Because you're not even trying to mortify your members. You worried about Revelations 13. You understand? You worried about something that is not going to benefit the smoke that's in your household right now. You and your wife is at odds. What the hell are you doing watching the breakdown of Revelations, the 17th chapter? What are you doing?
Damn.
Huh?
Damn.
What are you doing?
Damn.
What are we doing right now?
Tell them the truth.
What are you doing, sister? Watching the real Hollywood, what is it called? The Housewives? Housewives of Hollywood? Or no, they watch Atlanta.
Or something, yeah.
Do that even come on anymore? I
don't know.
No, I ain't got cable. Whatever the shows they be watching. What you doing watching it? Love and Hip Hop. There you go. Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop. If you and your husband is at odds, why are you watching Love and Hip Hop? How you getting leisure time to entertain yourself in this?
How you watching all these movies but not watching Titus 2?
You watching sci-fi movies and you and your husband ain't talked in a week. Maybe it's time to turn on one of the bishop's class dealing with marriage. You understand? Maybe it's time just to turn it on in the house and light some incense. Mm-hmm. Identify the smoke. What type of smoke do I want in my house? Do I want the smoke to get rid of spirits, or do I want the smoke that's going to bring the fire and the judgment? You got to be able to identify. This marriage 101. Where was you at, officer? Let's go back to Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to use of edifying.
He said, but that which is good to edify one another. Don't be going back and forth with one another. You want to edify one another. Hey, sis, you know what? This is how you're supposed to be conducting yourself. Edifying one another. Read? Go ahead.
And what that's saying, real quick, if I may,
Go ahead.
what that's saying is be solution oriented.
Right.
If there's a problem because we read that Paul said that there's going to be trouble in the flesh. There's going to be problems that come up. Right. But if that's your friend, you're going to be solution minded. You're not just going to go to your husband. You're not just going to go to your wife and be like, oh, man, I'm tired of you cooking macaroni every day. I don't want to eat macaroni every day. You're going to be solution minded. You're going to say, hey, let's try this out. Hey, I bought you a cookbook. Hey, I'm doing this for you. Hey, I'm doing this for you so that you can have a solution to the problem.
Hey, man. Hey, in Israel, you buy a sister a cookbook, she get offended. You know what I'm saying? She might. Some of these sisters, man, you buy them a cookbook, they'll get offended.
It's going to be in the trash.
Why you? Come on, sis. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to be solution. I'm trying to provide solutions here. You know what I'm saying? But that's the mindset that we got to get away from. That's converting, you know what I'm saying? Converting your soul back to the Bible, bro. But that's a good point. You know what I'm saying? You always want to have solutions in your marriage. What's the solution? How do we move forward? Not how do we continue on this going back and forth, reveling evil for evil. You don't want to do that. All right, go ahead.
Let Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of God.
Because you don't understand, you grieving the spirit that's within you. You grieving the spirit. When we go off and go away from the Father, we're actually grieving the spirit that's within us. We don't understand that when you read the scriptures, examine yourself, whether you be in the faith, know you not that Christ dwells in you. That spirit is in us. And when you going off, you going to your lust, or you going to your temptation, you giving into your temptation, your tongue, you grieving that spirit that's within you. That's detrimental to your house. You're not putting out that fire. You're not putting water, the Bible, on the fire. Because before you see it, it's smoke. So you got to be able to identify this thing. You understand? Read on. Is that it? Go ahead.
And grieve not the Holy Spirit of God, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking.
You know, clamor, that's like a loud, confused noise. You ever get to the point y'all arguing back and forth and nothing is making sense? You know what I'm saying? It's just loud, confusing noise. And you doing it in front of the kids. So they think that this is normal. So you're not even being mindful of the community, of your nation. You know what I'm saying? What you producing. This kid one day is gonna grow up and knock on the next brother's door and want to marry the sister, and all he's seen in life is his father and his mother at odds with each other.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's all he's seen. That's something that we got to be mindful of now in this truth. It's one thing being in the world, you being ignorant to the fact. Now you in the truth, you got to be mindful of that thing. All right? Is that it on that? Yeah, keep reading.
Yeah. Let all bitterness, wrath, and anger, and clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, have forgiven you.
This is what you got to think about, bruh, when you have issues in the marriage. Listen, Christ forgave us. The Father forgave us of all the stuff. All of us supposed to be dead. He sent Christ down here to die for us. So if he can forgive us, send his son to die, Surely you can forgive your wife for making bad macaroni.
Mm-hmm.
Surely you can forgive your husband, like me, for instance. Like I used to come in the house, and you will know when I come in, you will know my path all the way to the room. I take off my jacket, set it right here, my shirt right here, pants, socks. You'll know. It'll be all, you'll know exactly which way I went. Instead of my wife going back evil for evil, she picking it up. Guess what that do to my conscience? Instead of her saying, "What? Damn, Negro, won't you stop putting your clothes there?" She just pick it up. One day, I just came out, and I'm like, and I look, I'm like, damn, this is dirty. The house is dirty. And I look, my sock, my pants, my shirt, you know what I'm saying? Everything on the ground, this is me. I'm like, damn, let me get this. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this. That's how you work together. That's loving your neighbor as yourself. Sometimes, it be like that. You just come in, hey, listen, it is what it is. But sometimes, guess what? You like, man, you know what? Damn, let me pick this up.
Let me help it out.
Let me at least put it all in one pile. You feel me? That's how you got to do.
Oh, but she didn't yell at you or something to make you do it.
Nah.
She didn't say, "You need to pick up your clothes. You a grown man."
Nah.
She didn't say nothing like that. It dawned. The Spirit of the Lord came and it dawned on you. This might help my wife.
This might help.
That's how it's supposed to work, sisters. You don't have to say nothing. All you have to do is do what you're supposed to do, and that this man is a man of God is going to reveal to him through his Spirit what he needs to
What
do.
you got to do.
You going to be all right, sis.
And forgive one another.
You going to be all right.
Forgive one another, bro. You understand? Forgive one another. It's okay to forgive. It's okay. You understand? Give me 1 Corinthians. We almost done. 1 Corinthians 7:34. It's all right, man. We're going to be all right, Israel. But, hey, there's certain things that we got to do. We got to put in place so we can have successful marriages. You understand? This is why we coming into this truth. This is why we came out of all the lifestyles we was in. It's because we trying to be successful. I think a lot of people have a fear of success. You understand? A lot of people have a fear of success. Like, you gotta want to be the best. You gotta want to be the best that you could possibly be. That should be your mind frame every day, to be the best. Not in no competition with brothers. I'm talking about, let me be the best that I can possibly be today. But a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters, they scared of that thing. You scared of change. You scared of, I don't know, man.
That's the vacant esteem. That's what vacant esteem is.
I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's the spirit we got to get off of us, man. We better than that, man. We are the holy people. We are the children of Israel, bro. You understand? And we got to know that. We got to remind ourselves of that. All right, give me that. 1 Corinthians 7:34.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 34. Mm-hmm. There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. Mm-hmm. The unmarried woman care for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit.
So now you got the two. He's giving you two differences of a wife, and you got an unmarried woman, right? Someone is not married. So you got one of the unmarried woman. She's caring for the things of the Lord. Okay, how can I please the Lord? Every day you wake up, how can I push this truth? How can I control, mortify my vessel, present my body holy to the Lord? Read. Go ahead.
But she that is married,
read,
care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband.
So as a wife, you should be waking up every day, and that should be a question like, and what can I do today to please my husband? That should be on the forefront of your mind. What can I do to please my husband today? Not, hey, I pleased him 2 or 3 days and we good. Nah, every day you should be waking up with that mindset. What can I do to help him push this truth? Mm-hmm. That's the difference between a married and unmarried woman. Give me that in Romans 13 right quick. That's the question that you should be asking yourself, man. Every day when you sisters wake up, hey, how can I please my husband? Read Romans 13 and 10.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Because if you love your neighbor, guess what? You're not thinking no ill of him. You waking up with the mindset of pleasing him. If you love him, if that's your friend, But some people, they waking up and you're not showing that, hey, this is my friend. This is the you know what they say in the world, this is the love of my life. You know what I'm saying? You're not showing that. That's not being manifested to the earth. You understand? Read it again.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Because love is not going to call the neighbor a BA nigga. You know, love is not going to disrespect their husband. You understand? Love is going to identify, okay, you know what? It's smoke. We got a little problem. You know, it's troubles in the flesh. What can I do to fix this situation? Like you said, what's the solution? You understand? Read.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
Therefore, that's the fulfilling of the law. Watch this. Give me Acts 16 right quick. Because the sister might say, well, I ain't married. Paul just told you your job is to present your body a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable of the Lord. And this too right here. Acts 16, what I say? Acts 16 and read verse 14.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 16, verse 14.
This is for the single sisters, right?
And a certain woman named Lydia, a seller of purple of the city of Thyatira, which worship God, heard us, whose heart the Lord opened, that she attended unto the things which were spoken of Paul.
What did she do?
She attended unto the things which were spoken of Paul.
You said when the Lord opened up her understanding, she attended unto the things of the leadership, the things that were spoken of Paul. How do I make my vessel holy to push this truth? You always listening. You always need to be subject to a man. It is what it is. So you have no excuse. Either you waking up and you married and you doing things to please your husband, or you attending to what the leadership is putting out in front of you. Because this is the examples that our foremothers and forefathers gave us. Read on. Is that it on that?
That's all of 14.
From there, give me Genesis. Actually, from there, give me Genesis 26 and 6. Last two scriptures. Genesis 26. We gotta learn how to enjoy one another, man. You know what I'm saying? We go through enough in captivity as it is. You gotta learn how to enjoy one another, and it's okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? I understand when you come into the truth, you trying to find your way. You know what I'm saying? You trying to figure out how to walk in this truth. You know, it take time, but you got to understand, once you start examining the scriptures, our forefathers enjoyed their wives, man. You understand? Read that. Where you at?
Genesis 26
and verse 6. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 26, verse 6. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And the men of the place asked him of his wife. And he said, she is my sister. For he feared to say, she is my wife. Lest, said he, the men of the place should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon.
So now you got, our wives, look, she was fair. Rebekah was fair to look upon. You understand? Watch this, read.
And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out a window and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife.
He was enjoying his wife. He was enjoying his wife outside of the bedroom. You understand? I'm telling you, brothers, that wears off.
Yep.
It's going to wear off. And if you can't enjoy your wife, y'all can't enjoy each other outside of the bedroom, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. You're going to have smoke, fire, what else? You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a little bit of everything in there, man. It's going to be a problem. So you got to understand, y'all got to learn to enjoy each other outside of the bedroom. It all goes back to Proverbs 6 and 7. Proving a friend. 6 and 7. Thank you. Sirach 6 and 7. Prove a friend. you proving this person, you gotta have companionship. You know what I'm saying? It's just not on. Don't act on lust, brothers, sisters. Don't act on lust. You understand? Give me a last one, Ecclesiastes 9:4. We know this one. Ecclesiastes 9:4.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 4. For to him that is joined to all the
9 and 9. My bad. 9 and 9.
verse Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 9.
Yeah.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life
Look,
of thy
officer
vanity.
in the spirit, bro. You in the spirit, officer. I had that one. Look, officer. That's my brother right there, man. Read it again.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity.
He said you're supposed to live joyfully with your wife all the days of this is pointless, of the vanity. That's the one thing we got, is to be joyous with one another, to enjoy one another. Read, watch this.
Which he have given under thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity, for that is thy portion in this life.
When you think about marriage, that's one of, like leadership always say, bro. This is one of the most. It is the most important decision you're going to make. You have to pick somebody that you can enjoy for the rest of your life. You don't pick that person with the little member between your legs. You don't pick that person's sister, you know what I'm saying, off of lust, off of his shoe size. You are picking somebody that you can live joyful with the rest of your life. Or else it's going to be a miserable life. So this is the warning that we're trying to give y'all, that we're trying to instill in brothers and sisters. Apply. We have to learn how to apply the scriptures, not just read it. Don't let this just be a lovely song. You know what I'm saying? Apply the scriptures. Apply your mind. Endure temptations. Get over the trials that you're dealing with. All of us is dealing with something. Get over the trials that you're dealing with. Really be in this fight. Really understand the fight that you in. It's a battle.
Yep.
This is a straight battle every day. You got to ask yourself, are you sitting in a house full of smoke? And you don't understand what's going on? You don't understand it's smoking, vaporing all around you, and
Starting to spark.
it's starting sparks everywhere.
About to be a fire soon.
You don't have that discernment? You got to have that discernment. We got to have that discernment working with each other. If we can identify the smoke, the problems, the issues up first, look, we can reconcile, as the scriptures say. All right, so that's the class. Hope, Lord's will, y'all got something out of it. All right, listen, we got to get these marriages together, man. We need more wedding feasts, Israel. We need more wedding feasts.
And less black door marriages.
And less black door marriages. More wedding feasts. Look, we all got a responsibility to the generation behind us, to set an example for them how to live. You know what I'm saying? The young sisters should be aspiring to put that dress on. You know what I'm saying? They should be aspiring to conduct themselves as a woman. The young men should be aspiring to be in that position of royalty.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't give them those examples, then what are we doing? What are we doing? We just waiting for judgment. We're waiting for that fire. And that's what we don't want. All right? All right, so listen. Lord's will. Hey, y'all got something out of it. I pray y'all got something out of it. This is IUIC Kansas City. I'm Officer Reb. I got my brethren.
Officer Lagabawar.
Get ready for Officer Loggy. When you dropping the CD, bro? The CD is coming soon, Israel. We putting them on notice. The CD is coming soon, bro. Brothers want that fire, bro. You know what I'm saying?
They
Brothers
want
want
the
that fire, man.
All
They
right.
want the smoke. All right, so hey, we here. Shalom, y'all. I got my officer Abishai in the building with us. I got the soldiers, Soldier Yan, Officer Ariel was here. These brothers is faithful brothers, man, getting up, making this stuff happen, all right? So listen, hey, shalom, Most High in Christ bless Israel.
Yeah, look.
You are now flying.
Look. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. Been about the power, you can call me ghost. I've been in a maze for 7 days. Esau running plays, I left the stage. We ain't got no answers, they killed the Panthers. Now the prophets back and we ain't taking ransom. My leaders fight for vengeance, they gon' marvel when my cap come. And if he got 2 readers, it's just like he busting 2 guns. Y'all ballin' up for suckers, and that's why y'all look like dum-dums. And if you speaking Hebrew, then just know we been a Quran. We Debo, teach your black like Nino. The sheep been lost, we been a bitch, I guess we bonded Negro. Y'all be better than placebos, throwing shots like Tebow. And if we ever take a shot, just know that it's a free throw, it's a free throw. They don't want no smoke now, they don't want no smoke. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. Been about the power, you can call me ghost. Trying to stop for me, boy, when you thought this shit was sweet, boy. We be cheating like Messiah, give me that and Obadiah. He gon' set this place on fire, then come set up his empire. They be high, wearing wires, switching up like this survival. I'm a soldier, Bible on my holster. I wanna beat you up, but if you stop, then I'm a vulture. But I'd rather keep it kosher, like I told you. Give all praises to Jehovah. Frankincense on my aroma, meditate while we take over, we take over. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. They don't want no smoke now, they don't want no smoke. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. Been about the power, you can call me ghost. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. They don't want the smoke now, they don't want the smoke. Been about the power, you can. 144 Thanos. We was snapping to the change, bro. We in mode like Django. Build a kingdom like Lego. Vanity.